All right, Yahoo Fantasy Baseball 2010 Tucson Toros Group Week 4. Taking a look at Tucson's Prettiest versus the Metropolitans. Tucson's Prettiest wound up taking the win here, 6-3-1. Battle of a couple of teams that aren't making so many lineup changes. Tucson's Prettiest has yet to make a single change this year. Sits 24-13-3, very impressive despite the lack of attention set to the roster and to the team as a whole. Metropolitans just under 500, sits 18-20-2, in the thick of things in the middle of the pack as far as the league goes. So very interesting. Tucson's has some really bad situations going on, and it's making the most out of it anyway. 3 inactive players, 2 players on the DL as a whole. So that team's looking at 5 slots that are filled by people who are not earning points and still has not lost a matchup. So it's really hard to argue in favor of setting your lineup every week when a team like this somehow manages to win anyway. Took 4 out of 5 on offense. Very lopsided on offense in favor of Tucson's Prettiest. 2 players hit 3+ homers, 4 from Andre Ethier, 3 from Adam LaRoche, combined for 20 RBIs just between those 2 guys. And Adam LaRoche had a breakout week this week, so that could be interesting as the season progresses to see whether or not Adam LaRoche continues to be a source of power on a very potent Diamondbacks offense, or if LaRoche tends to fall by the wayside. He's always struggled to stay consistent throughout an entire season, so it'll be interesting to see there. But Andre Ethier, definitely a great source of power. Metropolitans had 5 players hit under 200, so the average category, a rough week in that category. Metropolitans actually took ERA and WHIP from what it looks like because there was less pitching, less innings used, less pitchers actually being swapped in. It's easier to take ERA and WHIP when you just don't use as many guys. If they have good performances, you basically take those 2 categories pretty easily. Lost wins, saves, and Ks due to this strategy too, because if you're not switching to pitchers, you're not giving yourself enough opportunities to pick up wins, to pick up saves, and to pile on those Ks. So 2 out of 5 is not going to cut it on the pitching side with this strategy as the season progresses. Phil Hughes was the lone bright spot for the Metropolitans. Great week from him. Tucson's Prettiest had a really bad ERA. I don't know if anybody saw Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, but the Mets took on the Phillies, and Johan Santana had absolutely the worst outing of his career, got rocked, and that stuck right into Tucson's Prettiest as far as the scores go on that roster. Just a bad ERA for Tucson's Prettiest. Daisuke and Mike Pelfrey also way off target. Pelfrey's been a great source of statistics as far as Tucson's Prettiest roster has gone so far. And Daisuke, been injured, comes back. Both guys look shaky this week, so it could be interesting to see how they contribute in the next couple of weeks and whether or not some changes wind up needing to be made. Taking a look in the overall, Tucson's gets number 2 in the standings, twice as nice next week. So 2 teams that have yet to lose a matchup are going to face off next week. We'll see what gives. And the Metro sits 10th and is going to take on Koufax's Revenge, who sits 8th. So that's a very important battle between those 2 teams who are very tight in the standings. It'll be interesting to see who shakes out the winner in that one and stays in contention, and which team might fall back as far as momentum goes.